Welcome to the Business Spotlight series. I am Everardo Resendiz, and around here, people know me as Coach Ever. I am a certified executive and business coach at Action Coach in Northwest Louisiana. Today, I have Amanda Kitch with Media Desperado as my guest. We're going to be talking about her business, the journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and cherry picking to what it really is like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we get new conversations just like this one. And so, Amanda, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Hello. Thank you, Coach Ever. I'm happy to be here.
Well, will you share with us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about Media Desperado?
Sure. A brief overview of my background is that I am a Southeast Louisiana gal, born and raised here. And I went to Southeastern Louisiana to study to be a journalist. I'm a communication specialist. And so when I left school, I went on to be a TV reporter. Had a great time doing so, but wasn't really something I wanted to do long term. And when I left journalism and being a TV reporter, I went right into advertising because of my love for video production. I love the creativity of making and shooting and editing, writing stories. And so that led me from advertising and marketing now into my own business with Media Desperado that I run alongside my husband.
Right. And so, set the stage for the viewers and the listeners. Um, Other than you and your husband, I assume you're partners into this endeavor, right?
That's right.
Is there anybody else, investors of any sort? Or is it all you coming in from the ground up?
Right now, it's all me coming from the ground up. I'm hoping that we'll see investors in our life as we are passionate filmmakers. Media Desperado is a two-way street where we do more marketing and advertising focused commercial work, but also on the side we do passion projects, and these type of things fuel each other. So investors may come along in our life when we're putting together our feature films, but as of right now, it's me and my husband running it from the ground up. I'm doing it full time, and my husband is still kind of working part time as he's working in another position.
And so, Amanda, what's the vision here? Where do you want to take this company to?
Oh, where do I want to take this company? I really want to take this company. I want to see Media Desperado grow into a storytelling machine. We are a content creating machine. We love to make the social media content, and like I said, the passion projects, the writing and short film projects that we really love. But a lot of what we do is incredibly strategic and intentionally driven. Media Desperado has a specialty of being both creatively forward but logistically forward. And so part of that marketing and advertising, that very commercial forward work, is supporting clients to bring their stories to life in very creative ways. And I would like to see Media Desperado just continue to see these lanes fuel each other. I want to see the creative and commercial work grow and develop and become its own thing that helps fuel our passion projects. And then I want to see the passion projects grow and get more difficult. And then maybe in turn, it helps fuel some commercial work as well. So we'll see.
Wow. Well, it does sound like a great dream. And so, what is your current role in the business? What do you get to do on a day-to-day basis?
Oh, I'm doing all of the stuff that comes with being a small business owner, which is I play all the seats, I play all the roles as of right now. And of course, my husband helps me on the side. Media Desperado has been on the side of my day to day for many years. And it wasn't until recently that I wanted to take Media Desperado full time. And so now I am really hot and heavy in that business building part of Media Desperado. Of course, I am the founder. I am the executive producer. So I'm helping lead all of the project management. But I'm finding leads and I'm seeking out my network. I'm finding jobs and projects to come in the door. But I'm also managing the marketing and the business seat, the business building. Me and QuickBooks are learning to become real good buddies, and it's it's just those a lot of those when you become a business owner, you kind of learn to take it all on, and that's what I'm doing right now.
Right, right. And the difficulty is really balancing um, when to do those things that are necessary and
Mm-hmm.
then those things that are important but not urgent.
Correct. That's exactly what we're learning is phasing in those types of things, especially because a lot of what we do is very technology and gear focused, and we can't go all in on the newest and highest gear. It's important that we phase in and we're paying attention to income flow and how we're budgeting to do passion projects and how we're budgeting to pay our taxes and do all of the stuff that comes with running a business. And so that's exactly right. Business building is also having patience and discipline, and that's a really big part of my regimen right now.
And so for those people who are, taking off or maybe starting anew,
Mhm.
um, what would you recommend to them? I mean, the difficulty really is time, right?
Yeah.
When do you put in time? How do you manage dealing with the things that need to be dealt with so they don't become, big emergencies that now have to be dealt with?
Right. I would say, I don't know, I'm a natural question asker. I'm a natural answer seeker. I believe a lot in community and nurturing a very big network. As a producer, that's just a big part of my job is that I am my network. I am who I bring to the table to a job and finding the right people who have the right brains and the right talent. But I think the same things can apply to a business as well. I have found a lot of community in having lunch dates with a couple of business ladies that are in my area. And so I have been getting, we're very transparent with each other and we're asking a lot of questions. And so there's a lot of community and asking for help and asking questions. And so having a business is a lot of responsibility and it's all of the responsibility I wanted, but I don't pretend to know everything. So it's important that I go seek out the answers when I need them. I'm going to go make an appointment with somebody who can give me an hour of their time and I can go through a bunch of questions I've researched, or I've got some friends that I think have done this before. I'm going to go hit them up too.
Very good. So really the key here is to be willing to ask for help, to raise your hand and say, I need some assistance here.
I think so. I think so. Like I said, I'm a natural question asker. I think a lot of it comes with being a communication specialist and a journalist. But there's a story to every project. There's a story to every business, and it doesn't matter what the business is. You have to get to the core of like why you're doing something, why someone has done it before, what you can do differently. And so I think it's important to ask for help when you need it. And then just have fun doing it too.
I love it. I love it. Very good. And so let's move on to what makes Media Desperado so special.
Yeah.
Um, who primarily does your business serve? If I'm in the audience, how do I know that I may be a good fit for your services?
Sure. Well, Media Desperado in its kind of young full time life right now, we're still seeking out our ideal clients. A lot of that I think comes with trial and error, finding who you really like to work with and who helps build your business. So I'm still finding those really specific markets, but very generally, Media Desperado likes serving freelancers. We like to serve people who are in video production. It can be kind of odd because a little bit of our competitors are also our clients, because as a producer, or if my husband's a director, we are meant to integrate really well with production companies that need someone like us on their crew. Or if a freelancer needs a project manager, I need them to call me and we can talk about how to build a project together and how I can help see them through to success. So I would say agencies and production companies, freelancers, some of those people that may be seen as our competitors are also ultimately my clients. And those are the people that I really love to nurture, work with. But I also work with businesses too. I have a couple of clients that I help see through some of their marketing and advertising needs. And again, I'm just kind of bringing those same logistics, strategic ideas to the table to help really develop their creative into something that builds the business for them.
It seems to me like it's pretty broad, and of course it gives you several opportunities. And
Yes,
so,
yes.
how do you bring that uniqueness of your? Which one is that? What's your uniqueness here? What is it that Media Desperado brings to the marketplace? Maybe other people cannot hit the mark.
Yes, I think Media Desperado is unique because, like I said, we're very creative forward. My husband and I, we're very talented. We have a lot of experience. We love to play and find what we think is going to work best in video, in photography, in social media marketing. where we're really willing to kind of trial and error and find what works there. So I think we're very creatively forward, but I also think we're very logistically forward, which kind of gives us an edge. I know how to come to the table and make a project deliver on time and on budget. And I think maybe some creators, in the creative world, it's hard to be art forward and business forward. And I think that's something that we serve very well, where my husband is probably very much the visionary and the big idea guy, and I'm very much the producer, the leader, the executor, and I'm finding ways that we're bridging these things together.
And so, of course, you're in a market, the south part of our state in
Mhm.
Baton Rouge and New Orleans and the North Shore. Um, there's other people doing what you do,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Maybe at different levels. And again, we do like to spotlight the fact that, there's something that you do that may be a little unique. Um, but what is one thing that you wish more people knew about your business?
Oh my goodness. There are plenty of things that I wish people knew about our business. And I think you learn that when you talk with clients. And a lot of my job is communicating the job to them. I don't want anyone to ever feel left out of the process, or I don't like making assumptions. I am a communicator at heart. So I'm putting everything on the table and I'm making things as clear and concise as possible. I would say, um, I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? I totally just lost it.
What is one thing you wish more people knew about Media Desperado?
Definitely. So, what I think more people should know about Media Desperado or our industry as a whole is that creative work takes nurturing. It takes time to develop. Doesn't mean that a project has to take a certain amount of time. And it doesn't mean a project has to have a certain budget. There is a way to kind of customize and fit and fill what you need. But I work really well in a world where maybe the resources inform the creative. And so I think it's important that people come into video production projects, a commercial, or if they come into social media, and if they have a limited budget, let's speak about it transparently, because I think there can be very creative ways that we fill the budget. The creative can adapt to the timeline, the creative can adapt to the budget or to who needs to be in it or the message. So that's what I would say. I would say that there can be a lot of fun when the creative is informed by the resources. But I don't want us to limit there. We just have to be very smart when people come to the table. You can't have everything. What is it? They say there's a triangle and you have to pick two. You can't have everything good, fast,
Good,
and cheap.
cheap, and
Exactly. You have to pick two. And so I think it's really important that clients kind of come, or crews or whomever come to the industry knowing that we will find the balance. We're good at what we do. We will find the balance. It's about being smart and creative. And I think that's what we're ready to do.
outstanding. Well, that leads me to marketing, which is vital to every business, and
Oh,
it's,
yeah.
it's often an area that I'm not going to say that people struggle with, but they don't see much strategy in it. It's like you just got to promote,
Hmm.
and it goes a little bit beyond that. So I'm always curious about what businesses like yours are doing. You're in the marketing realm, right? How do you market your business? How does it come strategic for you?
Sure. As of right now, we're redoing a website. A website is the foundation of your digital footprint. So making sure that you create something that you're really proud of and is very user friendly for people to find you online. But in terms of what's working for me, getting a website, we've just revamped our brand a little bit too. So making sure that we've built an identity that we really like and can stick behind, something that has longevity for my needs. But social media, we love social media. That's my area of expertise. And it's funny because when you're in marketing and advertising, you always find yourself fulfilling your clients' needs before your own. So my social media has lacked for a long time because I'm working on several accounts at any given point. But now I'm spending some time on my social media presence just so that there can be a voice and that I'm telling the story that I want to tell. I get lots of good feedback there. But yeah, I think what has really worked for me in terms of putting myself out there is tapping my network. I don't want to say cold calling is exactly what it is, but kind of. I'm just reaching out to people and letting them know that I'm here, I'm ready to work, and these are people that I have relationships with and have built a network with over time. And if anything, it puts me on their radar that the next time they need a producer, they're going to give me a call. So it's a combination of things. Marketing is it can be very complicated, but it's also very fun. And so as of right now, that's what I'm trying to do is have fun with it.
Love it, love it. And so, um, what approach do you take to tracking your leads or the different opportunities that come along? Do you have a CRM that you prefer?
As of right now, no, I don't have a preferred CRM. I'm largely gauging what people are looking for. Like I said, I'm tapping my network. I'm getting involved in the ground floor of maybe projects that people might have come in. I'm helping people with proposals, and I am just trying to integrate myself very early in their needs, so that way I can be a success from start to end. But largely, that's I'm just taking conversations. I'm taking coffee dates. That's what's been successful for me so far.
Very good, very good. So we spent a bunch of time focused on the business and sharing a
Mhm.
few of your practices with the audience. I'd love to take a step back and dive a little bit into your journey.
Okay.
So, you did mention that you were doing something before. You did some news and some
Mhm.
advertising and marketing, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Um,
yeah.
so, you chose to stop that, to stop
Mhm.
the, let's call it the predictability of receiving a stream of regular income
Right.
for these, right? And
Mhm.
so, why make that choice, and what's that transition like for you?
Oh, I'll be honest, it was a very mentally challenging transition. Like I said, I've always had Media Desperado on the side, just as a space where I could seek out, extra projects, extra pocket change for my husband and I, to save money and maybe make a budget for a short film. Media Desperado, even on the side, has always been something just to help fuel our fire. But working full time and doing the work and getting the experience and a full time job was something that we enjoyed doing as well. But Media Desperado, growing into something that I wanted to be my own, an asset that I wanted. That's always been a goal for me, and so I finally got to a point where I was looking for more flexibility in my life, and I wanted to be pretty much in full control of how I spent my day, who I talked to in my day, things like that. So yes, it required a lot of discipline, and it was a big mental challenge to wrap my head around letting go of a job that I really liked. But I was ready to volunteer for that transition, and so I came to terms with it. It was very meditated, and it was very exciting, and so that's pretty much it. Yes, it's hard to sacrifice that predictability for an unpredictability, but it's because I believe in Media Desperado long term that I was ready to do something like this.
Right. So we have to go through those stages where it becomes difficult. And so
Yes.
as you look back at this journey of yours, what has been the most memorable roadblock or hurdle that you were challenged with and you had to overcome?
My most memorable roadblock. I mean, I think the transition itself, I don't have any particular moment that I could say, or a particular project or situation that I thought was the most difficult. I would say the transition itself has been the most challenging. That business building, taking on the full responsibility of the business building, has been the most difficult part. Not that I wasn't ready for it, and not that I don't want that, but it is a challenge,
Yeah, of course.
and I'm not earning money unless I'm working for it. So that's the biggest part, is maintaining the discipline to go get the buck and to go get the projects that I want. I'm ready for it. It's what I want to do every day. I'm figuring out a little more how to do it better. But I would say that's been the most memorable roadblock, is just maintaining the discipline to find the work and make it happen.
Right. What we see happen in this realm is that some people, they go for it because they want the flexibility in their lives,
Mm-hmm.
or they want that sense of control into their future, right? But then they don't bring the discipline with it. And so it takes a long time for that to rebuild. You know what I mean?
I'm yes, absolutely. And I think I came into Media Desperado with a position. I talked to a lot. I did the same thing that I did before, that I'm doing now before I started Media Desperado. I was asking a lot of questions. I've had Media Desperado since 2018, I believe. And it's like I said, it's always been on the side. It's always been there. We've always done some things through it. But when it came time that I wanted to do it full time, I made an appointment with my accountant and I was like, am I doing something really crazy here? And my accountant gave me a really good piece of feedback. And he was like, well, you know what? You've been doing this for a long time. This is the area of your expertise. You have been building this discipline and building Media Desperado just a little bit at the time on the side. I think if there's anybody that's in a position to try it, I think it's you. And so that kind of gave me a bit of motivation to go out on take the leap and do it myself, And I also am the type of person that I'm willing to be told I'm wrong. So I am okay with making mistakes and I am okay with it not going well if it doesn't go well. I am not the type of person to give up altogether. And so if I need to go back to civilian life and be in the corporate world again, I will. But I have to give Media Desperado a shot first. And it's been really fun.
All right, all right, very cool. And so, of course, it then begs the question, right? What do the next 3 to 5 years look like for Media Desperado? Right? Are
That's
there goals set? And how do we go about setting those goals?
Yes, there are goals set. I set goals largely. They will shift a little bit, the smaller goals, but the bigger goals remain the same. And I do try to stay very disciplined to my goals as well. I set goals thinking about what I want personally and then what I and the business need to sustain. That's basically how I'm setting goals. And ultimately, that means in 3 to 5 years, that the Media Desperado 2 lane of commercial work and filmmaking work are buddies. They're hand in hand and they may be fueling each other, or my commercial work is sustaining my life very well and my husband and I's life very well, but we're also saving budget to make passion projects, and we're creating network along the way of people that want to be a part of these passion projects, whether they're crew or investors or whatever. So that's the goal of Media Desperado for 3 to 5 years, is that she just keeps chugging along and we find a lot of really good creative work along the way.
I love it. I love it. Okay. And so we have certainly covered a lot of ground on this conversation today.
Yeah.
And for those people who are watching, I highly encourage you to save these and come back a few times for a watch, because there's a lot of great nuggets here. And so as we begin to wrap up, Amanda, I have a few rapid fire questions. Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
Quick couple of answers for each.
Whew.
What is the key to success for you?
The key to success for me is asking a lot of questions and being willing to be wrong when I am wrong, but asking the questions to get the answers I need for support along the way.
I love what you said. You don't make assumptions, and that probably is the enemy number one. We tend to assume a lot of things, and almost
Mm-hmm.
any problem that we have in business, we can track back to somebody making an assumption somewhere. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
it, it applies to when you're trying to get somebody to work with you. You don't want to make assumptions about people that are on your team. You want to make sure it's a very clear project, a very clear working space for them, but also for your clients. When you're trying to figure out what they want and need, I got to ask a lot of questions to make sure we're doing the right thing.
all right. Next question is:
All
what
right.
is your one piece of advice for other business owners?
My one piece of advice for other business owners. That's very challenging. Rapid fire, Coach Ever. This is hard. Um, my one piece of advice for other business owners is very clear communication. Communication is going to be the foundation of building a team, of making a project successful, of communicating with your client or your market, all of those things. Communication is often what teams struggle with as they grow and get bigger. They have a hard
Right.
time management to your employee. That's where the gaps start to show. So my biggest piece of advice is to seek out healthy communication from the start and continue to nurture it and build it up as you move along.
Love it. Love it. Okay. What is one book you're reading right now, or you have read, that you will highly recommend to everybody?
Okay, I actually am reading a new book right now. It's new to me. It's The Artist's Way. This is a book that's gained a lot of popularity lately because a few pop culture, pop artists have been using this book, but it's a tried and true book that I know a lot of creatives that have used. That is, I haven't gotten that far into it yet, so don't start asking me a lot of questions, okay? But it is a really good book to build discipline, to journal, to find your creative spirit. That's what I'm working on.
Love it. Love it. Okay. So if you had to choose only one area of your business right now that
Mm-hmm.
you could immediately improve tomorrow, like magic one, right?
Mm-hmm,
What would
mm-hmm.
that be?
Okay, I would wave my little magic wand over something that I feel like a lot of business owners would say is just sort of a steady stream of customers, a steady stream of client. I will get there, and I'm not worried about it now. But yeah, I would love. It's turning that unpredictability into something a little more predictable. That's the goal.
Yes,
I would wave a little wand over that.
I love it. Okay, so before we get into the final question of the day, how
Mm-hmm.
can other people learn more about you or your company? How can they get in touch?
Okay, they can get in touch with me. They can find me, mediadesperado.com. We have a website up now. It's old, but we're hoping that a new one will be up by the time that you see this, and it's going to be new and fabulous. Mediadesperado.com. Also, you can find us on social media, Instagram and Facebook. We're on Vimeo, where you can see a lot of our portfolio work. And then if you want to know more, you can also just message me on Instagram or whatever works. I'm a chatty gal and I'm ready to chat it up with you.
I love it. Very, very good. And so, Amanda, the final question of the day, what do you
Okay.
find is most inspiring for you today? What gets you up and going?
What gets me up and going, Coach Ever? What is it? What gets me up and going, I would say, is the potential of my business, the potential of Media Desperado really inspires me. The Artist's Way, this book that I'm on right now, is teaching me a lot about nourishing my inner creativity and my inner artist, and finding my inspiration in a little bit of everything. And so that's also what I'm trying to do. I'm inspired by life every day. I'll be honest. Not all of, it's life is hard, but I try to find inspiration in every little bit that I can. But I would say what gets me up is the potential of Media Desperado. It really can be whatever I want it to be. And I have that flexibility and I have that responsibility now. That's what really excites me.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today and sharing all this with us. And
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you to the audience for watching and sharing this. You never know who you might be inspiring by getting them to listen to this interview. And so
Hey.
thank you
Yeah.
for being here today. Make it a great day. Until next time.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach Ever. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Amanda. Bye.